All right, so I'm going to record. Facebook Live, yeah. I've never actually used it, but of course I've seen lots of Facebook Live posts. All right, so this is open office hours. So I'm happy to talk to you about, demonstrate, go into whatever you'd like to do. We're recording, so this recording will be shared in our course. You can earn 5 points extra credit by either after participating here or viewing the recording, basically writing a paragraph sharing how you think this type of tool, these live synchronous communication, might or might not work in your class, whether it's face-to-face or an online class. So I have the chat room open on my screen. So if you want to chat something, please do. You can type it and I'll make sure I repeat your question out so that we have it for the recording. Yes, there is an assignment in the course to submit the extra credit. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. That's a great question, Carl. All right, so this is what you see in our course, right? This is the week 1 Canvas Klatch and it has the date. So when you're in the modules, slow me down if I just zoom past something because that's totally me. I would totally do that. So here is your unit 0 and we have the weekly Canvas Klatch here that kind of goes over the whole thing. Then in each module, I've created a page for each week's Canvas Klatch, and I've put the date and time right in there so that you don't have to look through it to find everything. But if you do want the link, you do need to click in there. So the extra credit assignment can be linked to via any of these Canvas Klatch pages. And right here where it says, check out extra credit Canvas Klatch, that is the actual assignment. So when you click on that, it takes you to the assignment. And I'm not in student view, so I don't have that submit button, but you'd have a submit button there at the top because this is my edit mode. And then you just click submit and turn in your paragraph. So you can only submit the extra credit one time, but I would hope that you guys would pop in here each week and ask any questions that you have or see what we've got to say about the different sections. Hi, Pamela. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All right. And then every assignment in this course has a rubric. You can see down on the bottom. In any assignment, it's just already there at the bottom. But in discussions, you have to hit the little gear to see it, and it'll say show rubric. But on the assignments, it's right down there at the bottom. All right. All right. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. Did I answer your question? That's correct, Carl. Sometimes if we're going to cover a specific section, then we will have it on a specific unit. But mostly it's office hours for you to ask questions and see a specific thing that someone asks about, or we're going to cover a topic. In this one, it's mostly just the very first one. So we're going to talk about the content available in our course and how we navigate the course and give you a little overview of what it's like to be in a Zoom session if you've never used one before. No, it's not recorded. So a lot of times, Van, your laptop will have a built-in microphone. We have a fancy microphone here that we use for recording webinars, but for most of the things, I just use a headset that we have. But And then if I'm recording, or if I'm in a big office, but if I were in a private room, then I wouldn't even wear a headset. I would just use the microphone on my laptop. So that's an option also. Yes, I will actually show you. You can, one of the things you can do too, because my phone is connected to the same network as the computer. I can actually share the screen right off there when I'm on my computer. But, oh, for goodness sakes, needs a plug-in. I used to have it. So all right, now let's see. AirPlay, Zoom. Okay, so this is my phone. You can see it up on the screen. And then there's actually a Zoom app. Oh, I guess I can't click it on my screen. That you see how it says Zoom. And when you're in that, you can connect to this Zoom window the same way. I'm logged in via my same account. I can't join a meeting on here because I'm already in this meeting. I think it'll kick me out. But if you're driving, because that happens sometimes, if somebody needs like, come to this meeting and you're in the car, it will, when you're on your phone, it defaults to a window where it doesn't have the picture, and then you're muted. So you could just hear everybody. But it has settings you can set up. And so like I said, when my husband calls me on the Zoom, it's on our phones. So that's always an option. So that's pretty nifty. In our office, we attend a lot of meetings via Zoom. So I'm usually sitting at my desk, but when we're traveling, we can pop into those meetings too, which is a nice option. All right. What it is, Zoom is not affiliated with Canvas, but it's a separate entity. But as a member of California Community College system, the Chancellor's office has subsidized the use of Zoom, so you can get a pro account from Zoom with your EDU email address. So I will give you the website here in the chat. This is the website to confer Zoom that you can sign up for a free pro account with your California Community College EDU email address. The regular website for Zoom that anybody can use is zoom.us. Oh, it doesn't. Let's see. See if I can get it as a link. There we go. That's the regular one. But make sure if you work for the California Community College system that you sign up with the conferzoom.org, because the free pro account allows you unlimited time in your meetings. The free account with zoom.us kicks you out after 40 minutes, and then you have to log in and do it again. One of the things that's nice too, I mean, I like Facebook Live, and although we like to think our students are 100% connected, all of them, right? But they're not. Some of them aren't on Facebook, and then that could be a problem if you're using that method to do it. And then that's where they would access the recording too, which can be a problem. So this one, what's going to happen when our session is over, I'll stop the recording, and then it will download as an MP4 file onto my computer, and then I can upload it to YouTube, add captions if I want to, but this isn't a required portion of the course, so technically it doesn't have to be captioned, but it's helpful. And and then I'll load it back up into our course, and then anybody can access the archives. So that's another one of the advantages to doing it that way, because I don't think some of the other formats, I don't think you can do it that way. You may have to just use the link, and it's always launched within that platform. Have you guys been able to get into the course and make your sandbox? Oh, sure. Where would you post a video in Canvas? You could post it anywhere. So I'll show you where I'm going to post it. So what I'm going to do, this Unit 0 weekly Canvas Klatch is where I'm going to put the archive. So right after, I'm going to click edit, and then right after the time here, or I'll probably just eliminate the time, and then I'll put the archive there, just the link. And then anybody that wants to go in, I can embed the video, or I can just do the link and then they can go straight to YouTube to watch it. But you can do it anywhere in a page. Put your link in. I lose my little chat window here when I'm sharing. There it is. All right, so in our modules, we've done our orientation module, getting started, our Unit 0 module. And you set up your notifications, you do your introduction discussion, and do the online readiness tutorials. Yes, on the sandbox question, you did share your sandbox, sweet. I think I saw yours. Okay, so Unit 0, hands-on, create and share your sandbox. Has everyone done that? Have there been any questions on how to do that? That's one that people get a little bit hung up on sometimes. Great, Mark. Glad to hear it. One of the things you'll notice in each of our lessons, we have Canvas guides at the bottom of the lesson. So they are not mandatory, but they are highly suggested. I'm just going to put it that way. And I will show you what those look like here. All right, so this is Unit 1, the instructional content. You want to make sure you view all of the tabs here at the top. So right here, these links are all Canvas guides. The reason why we use Canvas guides in our course is because Canvas is very proactive to updating their pages. And if you, this is a great idea for your class too, if you put Canvas guides into your course, when Canvas makes a change, the page is automatically updated. You don't have to go through and make sure your link is the most current one. They're going to update it. So when you get into these Canvas guides, you can see that this one was created on April 7th, 2015, and then it was last modified on July 9th, and this is the 7th version. So you don't have to go in and always look and make sure you're at the most current version, because Canvas is doing that. They're updating it, and in the process of updating it, they are not changing the link. Okay, it's just the same link. It just goes to the most updated page. So that is something that we are really passionate about. You know, use what's available to you. Don't create your own content if you don't have to. Okay. Canvas also has these videos, tutorial video series that they've created. Instead of us creating our own videos, we can do that. But there's no sense in reinventing the wheel when the creator of your learning management system has already created the videos for you and placed the guides in there for you. So that is one that you want to take away and use back in your class, because it's a super good idea. Any questions on that? So we offer those Canvas guides and everything for you. So you definitely want to make sure before you ask questions that may already be in place that you've looked at those Canvas guides and looked at the additional material that we've presented to you. You know what I do with the PowerPoints, Carl? I just share my screen. So I have the PowerPoint on my computer, and then I share my screen in the PowerPoint. I'll even show you what it looks like. A lot of the stuff that I do, I'm showing how to do something. So I'll screen share so I don't always use a PowerPoint. However, when I do webinars and stuff and I have prepared content, I do that. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I've uploaded the PowerPoint on my screen, and I'll show you right from the beginning instead of showing you what it looks like when it launches. So I'm in PowerPoint. So if I want to use PowerPoint in my course, I can just, or in my webinar, my Zoom, I can just start the slideshow, and then you're seeing it. So as I go through my slides, the students are seeing it, and then they can still interact with me. And I have two monitors, so I can have the PowerPoint up on one side, and then I could see your faces on the other side. And then if the chat comes up, I can see that also. Yeah, there's one thing it does not show when I share is it does not show you my Zoom interface. I know what I could do. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so okay, here's my Zoom window. And then all right, so here's my little cheater way to show you what it looks like. So I took these screenshots a second ago when we were doing it. So this is what I usually see if I'm not sharing. I see the chat. If I have it open, I could close it. And then I see my window. This is what we call the Brady Bunch view. If you're not seeing it this way, there is a, right up here in the top, there is a little icon you can push, and it switches off between one big person's face and this. We call it, like I said, the Brady Bunch view. Then when I move my mouse around on the screen, it pops up like this. I get this menu on the bottom. So you're going to have share screen right here in the bottom. There's my chat. There's my recording controls. And then when I say share screen, I get this menu. Okay, and this is how I shared my phone with you, is this one over here, this iPad, iPhone, iPad. But here on the far left side where it says I have two monitors, remember? So I have desktop 1, and then I have desktop 2, which at this point was showing the Snagit one. So I can click that, and then it pops up and it shares. And then at the very top of my window, I have a red button that just says stop share. So yeah, going between the webinar and the get away, a little bug, he just came by because he wanted to bite me. Okay, it's really easy to switch between the sharing and the PowerPoint and the different screen. Yes, so stop share just defaults right back to the webcam. And if you have, so when I don't see your video, I just see your name. But if you have your account set up and you've uploaded a picture, then when you stop the video, you're going to see that person's picture instead of just their name. But you have to set it up in the settings for Zoom to do that. So on your phone, your camera is your webcam, and then if you're doing it that way, if you're zooming in that way, and then when I'm logged into my phone, if I stop sharing video, it still shows my picture because I'm logged in. It's not part of my computer, it's part of my Zoom account. So and then when I'm, what's I gonna say about that? If I'm on my laptop, it has the integrated camera too. Yeah, it's super easy to switch back and forth. When I used to teach with Blackboard and we used Blackboard Collaborate, you had to pre-upload your PowerPoint, and then it took a while. So if you tried to do it on the fly, especially if you had a really big PowerPoint, it lagged. So if you didn't do it before class, then you were trying to do it during class, and it was taking all this time. But there was no way to share anything live, which, I mean, I could write like a whiteboard, which this has that too, if that's your style. Let me show you if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I've never used it before, but I would totally use it all the time. If, Carl, you teach math, right? And Van, you teach math. So I would do this all the time if I was teaching math in the high school. So, but I don't have a board here, but when I taught before, I had a Wacom board, I guess it's called, or, and so then I can just write on the board and do my problems because, they always have questions that I didn't pre-prepare, right? And so I can do all these things, and you can type, and you can change the color, and then you could just say, I don't want to do that anymore, and I want to start over. Let's do a new problem. So ideally for this situation, having the board with the pen is where it's at. It plugs into your USB, and it looks like a mouse. They're made for drawing and fine photo editing. But I used mine for math problems all the time because it took me forever to type in the problems. And so I'd prepare some on slides in advance, but invariably I would never prepare the exact ones that the students needed. So they would always need different ones, or I had to give different examples of the same thing. And so the whiteboard was super helpful. So I've never actually used it teaching for @1 because I don't really need it, but it is an option for you to use in your Zoom classroom, which I think is super cool. This is actually this whiteboard that I put up right there. That's part of Zoom. So when I showed you what comes up when I click share screen, so I was just able to use the whiteboard. Now, whether or not you can write on your particular slides, I don't think so because it's opaque. But you know, I like to just have it live all the time. So, but yeah, it's one of the share options. So it's part of Zoom. It's not a separate. It's not part of my computer or part of like a separate program that I have. Of course, Carl, because that's what you're going to see. Um, thanks, Van. I think that's awesome. Yeah, you're going to see, okay, I like this and this. And one of the things that we need to remember is that we have to use our, hang on just a sec, Pam. One of the things we know, you want to be open to using these tools. Like, so some of you are maybe switching from Blackboard to Canvas or from Desire to Learn or Moodle to Canvas, and it's frustrating. I get that. But remember how frustrating it was when you started that platform, and eventually you're going to be comfortable with Canvas, and I really think you're going to like it better. So that's one of the things in this introduction to Canvas is pretty much everybody is switching from something else to Canvas. And so you have to find those things you like and hang on to them and then bring in the new technology. Pamela, did you have a question? Ain't that the truth, Carl? It's not the worst LMS out there. Actually, I think Canvas is the best, but that's because I've used it and I've gotten used to it. And so I've gotten past that, I don't know how to do things, frustration. And so, but it's, you know, for some people right away, they're like, oh, well, I don't like blank, this one that I've been using, and so it's way better than that. But a lot of people come from an LMS that they really, really like. They liked it, they're used to it, they know how to use it, and then that change is a frustrating thing for them. They're not ready to make that jump. Okay, so I had said in our first announcement that I had posted a quote. It says, the only way to make sense of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. So the more you jump into Canvas and the more you try to make it work for you, I think the more that you're going to like it and not be frustrated by the change. One of the things I want to show you also, I showed you the Canvas guides. So, hi Kyle, can you hear me? All right, so one of the things that I noticed when I started with Canvas is I didn't know how to do everything that I was doing or that I wanted to do. And so, but I could never remember where it was called that I wanted to go. So now I know, but I didn't then. So I just go to Canvas Community. And it's a community that, and so you go to Welcome, that has every question you could want to ask. You just go right here and say, can I reorganize my dashboard? Because I don't like the way it is. This is one of the very first questions I had. And so here it says, here somebody else has asked the question, is there a way to rearrange the icons that show up in my dashboard? It's not currently possible. So although sometimes it's nice just to have the answer to know that you can't do what you wanted to do, but a lot of times they're going to give you the ideas you need to. I can't remember how to place a link in my course. And it's going to show you all these different questions that people have answered, pages that Canvas representatives have put up on the board. So there's lots of different options that we have available to our students. And if you're not sure how to do something in Canvas, the Canvas community is the place to go. The Canvas community is the place where you can find all of your answers. And look what we're missing this weekend, CanvasCon. All right, so this is the Canvas community. You can read all the different articles they have available to you. One of the things about Canvas, and the reason why the California Community College Chancellor's Office chose Canvas to be their common course management system, one of the pros, there's lots, is that they are very responsive to their community. People can put ideas up for a vote, and members of the community can vote on it, and Canvas will make it happen. This has happened with a lot of the different things in Canvas. One of the newest things that we think is pretty cool is this option here to put the announcements at the top of the homepage. That was not there previously. And now you can see a glimpse of the announcements, and you can have it show 2 announcements, 3 announcements, 5, 10. It can show as many as you choose, but we don't like to clutter up the homepage too much. So we just give you 2 so you can click right there and go to the newest announcement. That is an item that was voted on. People had suggested it and people voted it up, and then Canvas made it happen. That's pretty cool, I think. Are there any other questions about Canvas, about our course, about getting started that you want to ask? We don't have to stay for a whole hour, but we can. There will always be questions. So you can message me. You can message me within Canvas. You can ask questions in the Q&A form. Have you seen that? And I'll be monitoring that, and your fellow students will be monitoring that as well. And then we'll be here once a week. I tried to keep these Canvas Klatches early in the week, Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, I think they are, because I wanted to make sure that we're connecting earlier in the week in case you have any questions, instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, instead of putting them off until the end of the week and then everybody's like, okay, I'm done. You're welcome, Van. Pamela, did you have a question? Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it.